Hey there, welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct from the studios here at Menara Star in PJ. My name is Nelsen. Joining me today, Ben, Ibrahim, and Brian Martin.
Hi, Nels.
Nice to see you guys. Well, the weekend that was saw some rather surprising and unsurprising results. Where at Old Trafford, Man United defeated struggling Bolton by 3-0. Brian, Rooney missed the penalty but created 2 goals, right? I mean, so your thoughts on his and United's performance on the
Well,
ball?
I agree with what Salak said about Rooney doing better. He could definitely have done better.
Right.
It wasn't one of his better games.
Right.
Having said that, a lot of United's good moves had to go through Rooney. So he's still very much an integral part of the United team.
Right, I mean, Ben, Bolton are still second from bottom and have just sold Gary Cahill to Chelsea. Look, Owen Coyle plans to use some of the funds to bring in, with what he says, 3 or 4 players to hopefully help them stay up in the Premier League. But, I mean, even with Cahill in the side, they've been leaking goals, right? I mean, so
yeah, they're
do you think
defensively not very
they'll stay
good.
in the BPL?
I think they will stay in the BPL. Owen Coyle, we've said this on the show before, Owen Coyle has enough experience about him as a player and as a manager, the knowledge to keep them up. They're not going to be a top 7, 8 side. They'll probably be 14th, but that's good enough. So yeah, Owen Coyle and Bolton to stay up, and Owen Coyle not to get fired.
Right. Wait, Gary Cahill, Brian, quick thought. I mean, goodbye for Chelsea.
I think he's probably a stopgap measure. I don't think he's one for the future.
Right. Even though he's an England international?
Even though he's an England international, I mean, he's a good player, but I wouldn't say he's a Chelsea-type world-class player.
Right. Okay, well, while United saw off Bolton, Chelsea had to grind out a 1-0 win over Martin O'Neill's Sunderland at Stamford Bridge. Brian, I mean, Lampard's goal came from a Torres effort, right? And AVB says he's happy with Torres, but surely most people were expecting the Blues to win, I think, by a more comfortable margin, right?
Actually, you got a feel for Torres. I mean, it was a superb effort, acrobatic volley, all right? And, I mean, the guy just doesn't seem to have the luck.
No.
I mean, on any other day, he would have hit the underside of the bar and gone in.
Right.
Chelsea were actually fortunate again in that game. You know,
Right.
I thought Villa played well, and
Sunderland.
Sunderland played well, and AVB had to say that.
Right.
That Torres played well.
And that's what
The
managers
fact
got to
is,
do,
he's
right?
there
Keep
to
his
put in the goal.
confidence up,
Yeah, keep his confidence
Right.
up.
I mean, Ben, your thoughts on Martin O'Neill and the job he's done since taking over at Sunderland?
Great job. Fantastic job. He is the miracle man. He doesn't need to be so animated on the pitch, though, but that's Martin O'Neill's style.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought they were a little bit unlucky not to come away with this match or something. McLean and Craig Gardner miss. Well,
Yeah.
it was
Right,
just in front
right.
of goal. They
Right.
just missed some easy shots. So even though, from a stats point of view, Chelsea had more possession, they had more shots on target and off target, Sunderland should have scored a goal,
Yeah.
at least one
Right.
goal. And Nicholas Bendtner, towards the end, he'll be kicking himself. for
Yeah,
that
the
one.
chance at the
But
end.
okay, I mean, 3 points is 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Well, while United and Chelsea won, Liverpool were held to yet another draw at Anfield. This time a drab 0-0 by Stoke City. I mean, following it another draw, Brian. I mean, I'm sure Reds fans were expecting to take 3 points from this. I mean, look, Dalglish is adamant that his side have the heart and spirit and aren't far from being up there with the best. But would you agree with the man?
I mean, I think if I were a Reds fan, I'll be getting pretty fed up with Dalglish's recent statements.
Right.
You think about it: 14 points, 7 matches drawn at home. That's what 14 points, 14 extra points.
Yep.
Where would Liverpool be? Top of the league.
Definitely.
Top of the league.
Yep. Your thoughts on Dalglish's defense of his side?
I think he's running out of excuses. I think he needs to start
Right.
Carroll and he needs to start Bellamy. Bellamy has been a great player.
Much more of a goal threat than
Probably
Carroll.
Liverpool's
Right.
best player this season. Kite, I mean, Galatasaray won his services. So I think he should go to Turkey.
can have him, right?
Because he is a Turkey. So yeah, enough of Kite. Send him away. Bring some better players in. This is an opportunity in the January transfer window to bring some really, really good players in. On the wing, they look pretty good. But up front, Bellamy's the only man. Andy Carroll, well, he's got alcohol problems. So yeah.
Right. Okay, well, as the Reds were frustrated in front of their home fans yet again, Arsenal fared even worse as they went down by 3-2 to newly promoted Swansea. I mean, with all the buzz on Henry's return, Swansea surely weren't phased at all, right, Ben? I mean, as they took the game to the Gunners, I mean, they even came from behind and exposed the Gunners' frailty at the back.
Look, once upon a time, you would have played Arsenal and said, oh my God, we're scared about our boots.
Yeah.
Right.
But now, look, they've got one of the most leakiest defenses
Right.
in the competition. I mean, yes, Henry's there just for ticket sales and to bring
Right.
back,
Yeah.
that glitz and glam and that big trophy or whatever you want to call it. But look, at the end of the game, he was arguing with fans.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
So
yeah.
where's the glitz and glam there?
If Arsenal have got Henry, Swansea have got a certain Danny Graham, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's on form.
So, and Swansea have got some players like Scott Sinclair who have the experience of playing against big teams. So they're not afraid. They're definitely not afraid.
Right. Well, meanwhile, our title hopefuls, the Spurs, could only muster a 1-1 draw at home against Wolves, which has now left them 5 points behind leaders Manchester City. I mean, Brian, still a few games to go, but I mean, look, no disrespect, but surely Spurs were never really in it, right? I mean,
that's Spurs for you, always flattering to deceive,
right?
You know, and it was coming just when Harry Redknapp says we are genuine title contenders.
When your Van der Vaarts or Defoe's come out and say that,
exactly what do they do? I mean, they draw at home to Wolves.
Right. Well, and speaking of being 5 points clear, Manchester City eked out a 1-0 win over bottom side Wigan, thanks to an Edin Dzeko header. Ben, quick one. Roberto Mancini has recently been lamenting that the African Nations Cup absentees have been a thorn in his side. And I mean, would you agree?
No, I disagree. You've got to win with the talent you've got, and they've got a lot of talent.
Definitely.
But like Gareth Barry said, I know we don't have a lot of time, but like Gareth Barry said, they've got to learn how to win ugly, and they won ugly against Wigan.
Right.
So, that's a hallmark of champions.
All right.
Potential champions, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully not. But hold on to your thoughts. We'll be right back with the second and final segment of today's show. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you real soon on Football Every Day. Welcome back to the show here on Football Every Day with me, Nelson, Ben, and Brian. All right, guys, getting straight into the weekend's fixtures. We're at Carrow Road, high-flying Norwich City entertained Chelsea. I mean, look, Paul Lambert's side have certainly been the best of the newly promoted three teams, right, Ben? But can you see them getting a result against the Blues?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, AVB. AB or AN, shall I say? Absolutely not. No.
Right.
Chelsea are getting some confidence about them. I agree with Brian earlier. Torres is playing really, really well. He just needs to score. And I hope...
And the goals will flow, right?
Yeah,
hopefully.
I hope, or we hope, that Torres will score, because in the year 2009, which was about 2.5 years ago, he was the best striker in the world.
Yeah.
And you want to see that, because, I hate to say this, La Liga is getting all the plaudits at the moment with Barcelona and Real Madrid. So it'd be nice to see Torres, English striker. Well, he's Spanish, but... English Premier League striker, the best in the world. So it'd be good.
Brian, I mean, you've been impressed by Norwich, right? But would you agree with Ben? Ben's assessment?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Ben. I think Chelsea will have a little bit too much firepower for Norwich. But having said that, I think it's going to be a very narrow win.
It's going to be a tight game, right?
Tight game.
Well, okay.
But no Drogba and Kalu, yeah, for this one.
Yeah,
African Nations. Torres, right?
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, Fulham play host to 6th place Newcastle at Craven Cottage. Brian, I mean, Fulham have been really patchy, right, to say the least, this season.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you see Fulham going down at home to Newcastle?
I could actually. Yeah, I think Newcastle are going to nick it against Fulham.
Ben, would you agree, Brian?
Yeah, because I think there's too much infighting inside, and I think
you're not a big fan of Martin Yole.
No, I'm not, because he doesn't know how to play the English system. Bobby Zamora will go to Queen's Park Rangers, I think.
Queen's Park Rangers.
Because Mark Hughes
he
had a good relationship with Bobby Zamora when Mark Hughes was there. So yeah, good old Bobby. Off the QPR.
All right, so Fulham Newcastle should be an interesting one. Okay, at the Reebok, a blank firing Liverpool visit struggling Bolton. Owen Cole's men need to start picking up some points if they're going to stay in the Premier League, right, Ben? The Reds themselves, we know, are under pressure. So, what do you think there'll be a winner in this one?
Yeah, I think there'll be a winner. It starts with B. Bolton. Bolton to win this one, 2-0.
I'll have to disagree with Ben there. Yeah. I thought Bolton would die against United. I mean, United
were bad.
Right, they were bad, but
Liverpool were bad too. So,
but I think
surely Liverpool have got to win this, right, Brian?
Yes, and I think they will. I think they will.
Right. Okay. Well, on Sunday, two big matches are taking place. With the first at the Etihad, where league leaders Manchester City do battle with outsiders Spurs. Rafael van der Vaart bigged up his team, as we were saying earlier on the show, but that was before they drew against Wolves. So, Ben, how do you see this one playing out? And Gareth Bale actually has just come out and said, we're going to take the game to City. We're going to, put a dent in the title hopes and stuff.
I think it'll be a draw, to be fair. I think it'll be pretty high
scoring. Spurs will do well to get a
high scoring draw. 2-2.
Yeah.
High scoring draw. 2-2.
Right? I mean, can Spurs potentially cause an upset and do United a favour?
Actually, I'm going to agree with Ben. I tend to agree with him. I think both teams have got goals in them. Spurs has a leaky defence. Never been renowned for actually keeping a very strong defence.
Right.
I think, knowing Harry Redknapp, he will take the game to City.
Right. Because maybe they really don't have anything to lose.
No, just go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well,
Adebayor is the X factor, though. he's mad at City.
He has something to prove, right?
He's got something to prove.
Right. Okay. Well, and from the Etihad to the Emirates, where Arsenal lock horns with Manchester United. Brian, we all know what happened last time these two met, right?
Yeah.
So surely Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry and all will be looking for some sort of measure of revenge for the 8-2 thrashing they got.
It's going to be really tough for the Red Devils. I mean, there's no way there's going to be another 8-2 scoreline.
Right.
I think Thierry Henry is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
I think
He's
Wenger
played
will.
in these games before, right?
He's played in these games before. He's done well in these games. He's a big match player. I think Wenger will start with Henry and Van Persie up front.
Just to kind of do a psychological thing for
Yep.
United. I mean,
Yeah.
Ben, would you agree with Brian's assessment? I mean, in terms of what Henry can do. I mean, he's been there against United, scored
Well, it's
some
very
winners
funny.
against them before.
It's very funny that you both mentioned that because Arsene Wenger did say in the media last week, it's very, very tempting to pick him. But he's not super match fit because of his age, because he's just come out of the MLS season. So I think if I were Arsene Wenger, I would not pick him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did pick him. And I think this match will go down to the wire. It'll be quite boring from a football point of view because United, they don't have all their guns back. Ashley Young is still injured. A few of the defensive players are still injured. I think United to get this one to score in the 89th minute 1-0.
Brian, we know United need to win. To keep up their title hopes.
Yeah.
But Arsenal are really quite far off. So
I hope
pride's at stake, of course.
pride's at stake. I hope Ferguson doesn't start with Scholes. I know he did against Bolton.
Right.
If I was Ferguson, I'd keep him on the bench, bring him on when we really need him.
Right.
You know,
When you need
to
his
add some
experience
experience.
and
15 minutes from the end, he should start with Carrick
Right.
and maybe Anderson in the middle.
Right.
Berbatov to start, maybe?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Quick
Someone to hold the ball.
quick one, Ben. Arsene Wenger has come out and said that the January transfer window should be scrapped. And he's adamant that Henry is the only face that he's going to bring in. Would you agree with Wenger in the transfer window?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because I like to see 30 players at the start of the season go hammer and tong. And if you get injured, you get injured. You can only bring in players if certain players are injured. But that's very subjective. It's going to be very hard to monitor. But I would like to see it go.
Right.
I agree with Arsene
Right.
Wenger.
But Brian, Ferguson hasn't really reinforced. He brought a player out of retirement when United actually need some players. But would you agree, Wenger?
I would, but I would like to see a cap. You allow the January transfer window, but every team is only entitled to purchase one. You can only make one buy.
Right. So there should be some sort of a limitation. But it's not like the current transfer window has been that active anyway, right?
Yeah.
This
Not
particular
lately.
season.
Not lately.
Right.
But Ferguson likes bringing out retired players. Henrik Larsson.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Remember him?
Hey, look what he did for
He did quite
United,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Pleasure as usual, guys. Well, thanks a lot for your thoughts. And before we bid you goodbye, do check out our brand new contest on football.thestar.com.my where loads of monthly prizes up for grabs from Adidas, SenQ, and of course Tiger FC. On top of FA Cup final tickets, I think Ben wants a pair if possible. But yeah, if you'd like to drop us a line, send it to football@thestar.com.my. Till we see you next week, it's bye from us on Football Every Day, and Happy Chinese New Year.